Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring my 2021 favorites so far. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. It was quite challenging to just select one item out of every category because there are so many beautiful options within each category, but I thought I would show you how I got to the look that I featured in my favorites so far 2021. And I just wanted to remind you, I do list these earrings I think every time I wear them. They are by Dior, just before we get to the makeup, but they are by Dior. They are a bit more on the pricey side for costume jewelry, but they are such a beautiful statement piece. But I've definitely gotten my cost per wear on these. Actually, they were a gift, but had I purchased them, I still would have felt like they were a great investment. But let's go ahead to application. Let's go ahead and start with my primer. This is one I've been using the most. It's the Anti-Pollution Mattifying Cream by Chantecaille. And I just apply this really in the center of my face. It smooths over my pores, helps with that T-zone area where I get a little bit oily. I have combo skin, by the way. So oily in the T-zone area. I can get kind of dry on the exterior. I also can get dehydrated, especially in the winter. Now let's go in with my favorite foundation. Again, this is a game changer, and that's why this one got selected. It's a Chantecaille Future Skin. I'm already on my second cushion here, so I do use it quite frequently. Go ahead with my favorite brush. Now this is the shade Nude. It's just a little bit light for me right now, but it will adjust in a moment here as well. Although I think if I get any more tan, I will need wheat. We're gonna let that kind of settle in, but you can see the finish, which I think is really apparent. It's really skin-like, but I'm gonna go in right now with my favorite. If you've been here even twice before, you know already. It's the Sisley Under Eye Concealer. Actually, it's the Eye Concealer with botanical extracts. I have mine in the shade 4. I especially love this because it doesn't crease and it doesn't require powder, at least on my under eye area. Now I have a normal under eye area, not too dry. This is, by the way, the brush that goes with the Sublimage foundation by Chanel. Go ahead with the La Prairie, another staple. So already you can see it looks like it's gonna be okay in terms of the shade because I corrected that under eye area. La Prairie right underneath in that darkest part right there. I just add it right there, that's it. What's great about this is that it also does not require powdering and also does not crease. So if you were going to pick one, it might depend on your under eye area. So this La Prairie, this is a little bit more fluid than the Sisley. Again, I have mine in shade 4. Actually, they're both in shade 4. Then I go in with other concealers around my eye area. I do go in with Clé de Peau on the corners here, just because there's a bit of darkness, a bit of discoloration. Then I've got the Chantecaille Real Skin in C4C. I'll do one eye so you can see why I do this. So I like to even out the skin tone, and it also primes really nicely. Okay, so you can see how actually the color's kind of coming together on the foundation. I don't know how it does that. It kind of just adapts to your skin. There's something magical in there where it starts to really become one with whatever your skin tone is, as long as you're in that range, whether you're warm or cool, because I'm definitely warmer. And I think when it first was applied, it looked much cooler. It almost had a pink tone to it, but now it's kind of settling in. Then let's go ahead with the other eye. So you can see the difference. Normally I would go in with my Clé de Peau concealer. This is in Mocha, by the way, on these dark spots here, but because it's this foundation, I'm going to show you how I use this for my darker areas. I will take clean hands, of course, and then do this, and I'll pat this onto those areas. And I can easily build this up. And because this texture is so thin, you can definitely build this up without looking cakey. Okay, so as you can see, they have been covered up quite a bit, although I have to say my discoloration is not nearly as severe as it used to be, but there is definitely some unevenness that's evident when I don't have any makeup on. So this has really been so impressive in terms of the coverage that I can achieve with just a little bit of product, which is why this is such a game changer for me. I just love this foundation so much. Like I said, I'd love to see what wheat looks like, But once this comes together, I don't think we're gonna think that my foundation looks too light. And if you've been here before, I can always deal with a foundation that's a little bit lighter versus a little bit deeper. So as long as it matches the center of my face, we're in good shape. Next, we're gonna go with my loose powder. That's my favorite, and I think it was my favorite last year. Nothing has beat this yet. The Clé de Peau loose powder is just so beautiful, so finely milled, and doesn't alter the color of my foundation. Now we're going for a really perfected look here, so we're gonna go in with another powder after this as well. Next up for perfecting, we've got the Chantecaille Blur Powder. This is a piece of my makeup which I think really makes things so much better. So the powder, you'll see, adds just a little bit of color for me. That's one of the reasons why this foundation, being a little bit on the light side, still works. Now another great thing is that I don't need as much foundation either, so even if it is showing through a little bit, this powder blurs in the front. If you have discoloration, you know that if you put a lot of concealer or foundation, it can get kind of raised throughout the day. From experience using these products, I can tell you that this application, because it's a lighter layer, and then we have this powder to help color correct a little bit, doesn't lead to that situation where you can get a raised texture from putting on layers and layers of concealer, as well as layers and layers of foundations that require a thicker amount, or a, what's the word I'm looking for? A denser amount of product. This really is a beautiful light layer, and it's very, very close to the skin, so it doesn't look like a whole lot of makeup. So I'm pretty happy with this. Going in with brows, which is a pretty new favorite of mine, but quickly became a favorite, the Gucci eyebrow pencil. I have mine in 4. I love that it's a cool shade, and I love that it's a powdery formula, or a powder formula. So it doesn't have that reflective quality that, say, other pencils do. It just really does a nice job of filling in more precisely than, say, a powder, because I know there are powder eyebrow products as well, but it's a bit more precise. And the spoolie's pretty good because, like I said it before, the only thing you can't really get here are those individual hairs that you can with other types of pencils. But really excellent for filling in any sparse areas if you have sparse areas on your eyebrows. I'm gonna go in with my SUQ eyebrow gel. It was clear, but as you apply this to your eyebrows with product underneath, it will pick that color up. Next for bronzer, and I actually have 2 because they're kind of like 2 different products. So I've got the Wayne Goss. Here it's the Radiance Boosting Face Palette. I'm gonna use one of the sides in here. I'm going to go in with the matte side, which is this one right here. Build some dimension with that. So I'm taking my Ray Morris Flawless Shader brush. So you can see the color there. It's nice and cool. So that really serves as more of a contour on me. You can see how it's more like a shadow without being gray either. It's a really nice balance between not being quite a bronzer and not being totally a contour either. I think it's a really beautiful natural shade on me. But we are gonna go in with a different bronzing powder. So I love this one. This one is by Lumière, and this is another reason why I wasn't so concerned that the foundation initially looked a little bit light, but I even think now looks like it's the right shade. So we're gonna go in with this. This is, again, Lumière. I take the Lumière powder brush, which I also really, really like. So I just take all 3 and I swirl it together like this. And then we're going to just go around the perimeter of the face and warm that up. Just kind of blend in that Wayne Goss product that I had on. I love this one so much, I really do. It's the Chanel Tisse Rivoli. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here all over the eye. Actually, let's take the deepest shade first, this one right here. I'm gonna build the corner. By the way, I love these Wayne Goss eye brushes as well. I feel like I need an additional set because I use them all the time. So this is one of the reasons why I think this is such a beautiful palette, this color right here. The deepest one is so user-friendly. Yeah, I almost don't really have to do anything for that to just get in place really nicely with very little blending necessary. Let's go in with this. We're gonna use that as a crease color. I'm gonna go in with this color right above that. This color and this color underneath. So I'm going to take that lighter color first. Then I'm going to take this color and go on the second half under. Then taking my Chantecaille brush, it's the eyeliner brush. It's angled like this. I'm just going to use that to get this deepest color, this one right here, and go along the upper lash line. And then on the lower lash line, just a little bit. So make a little bit of just the smallest suggestion. Can't ever say that word. Smallest suggestion of a wing right here. Really subtle. I'm gonna go in with the Chantecaille mascara. Let's just do one eye and then I'll finish the rest off camera. This is the Chantecaille Faux Longest Lash Mascara with the peptides in it. Holy Grail mascara for sure. And that is just one coat of this mascara. So if you like mascara as much as I do, you'll really enjoy applying this. Let me go ahead and finish this eye and then apply some mascara on the bottom. Let's go ahead and take this color. Now you don't have to go this dramatic. I think this mesh mascara makes it dramatic, as well as using this deepest shade. I have done a look where I've just done these two, and it's really beautiful as well, but I thought I'd show you kind of what this palette can do. So we're taking this lightest shade now, and I'm gonna take that in the inner corner. And then I'm going to take that just with my finger and pat it on like the first half. Even this shade right here, really nice finish on it. Nothing too obvious. It just is beautiful glow. I'm going to take a little bit of the Clé de Peau concealer, looking for it, and I'm just going to fix the exterior. Just refine that. So this is how I clean that up at the end there. Just a minor detail, but I think it makes a big difference. Then taking my Raymore 6.5 and just smoothing it like this. Let's go in with some blush. Going with the beautiful Chanel blush. Got my Deluxe Kabuki brush by Ray Morris. This one I can bring all the way to the front. That's one of the reasons I love this one so much, because I can bring it all the way to the front, although it has a luminosity about it. This one, however, doesn't emphasize texture, which is kind of a difficult combination. Usually if there's something luminous, it will emphasize that, but this one doesn't do that. I think because the particles are so fine, okay, try not to go overboard here. And let's go ahead and just blend that in a little bit more with the buff brush. Taking a bit of the blur powder as well. Again, this blur powder is available in different packaging now. So if you really want it diffused, you can just run this around the edges of the blush, which is what I'll do sometimes. I forgot the highlighter. Let me go get it. Then for the highlighter, I'm going to use this Chantecaille. It's the Liquid Lumière in Brilliance. And I think I said this in the video. I picked this because it has that quality of a liquid highlighter, but it dries down as well. Really pretty glow. Okay, now let's go for lips. Going in with the Contour Fill by Chantecaille. It just provides a really smooth surface. Next we'll go with a lip liner. This is in the natural shade. So just on the exterior, I'm going to go in with Rock Rose, the Lip Veil by Chantecaille. And I can't forget my perfume. This is the House of Sillage Whispers of Truth. I really have so enjoyed using this fragrance. It's so beautiful, and I typically don't gravitate towards more floral fragrances. This has a nice balance. It's not overly floral, overly heavy, really clean, beautiful scent. I just use one spray of it and it is just a perfect amount. And that's it for the final look. I actually love how they all came together. There's a little bit of cool with the eye, cool with the lip, but there's also some warmth with the cheek color, which is a nice balance, I think. And as you can see, the foundation all worked out. By the time I put on powder, contour, bronzer, you can see that it doesn't look like a lighter shade. Plus, like I said, over time, it tends to become more one with the skin. I don't know if that's an actual documented feature or quality of the foundation, but I do notice every time I apply it, that's what happens. Does become more one with my natural skin color. But let me know if you have any questions about any of these products. I really just enjoy putting all of these products on, and that was one of the factors when it came down to which one I was going to pick, which one made me the happiest when I applied them and the ones that I got the most joy out of. But that's it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.